Caitlin Clark, she's not been in any like hot water per se.
Is it snowing on the court? Kelly, go.
Her shattering the backboard.
Oh, it shattered. My bad. Kelly with the freaking graphics.
I don't know. I don't know if I pulled up that graphic, but it looks like.
No, I love it. Look at it, Kelly. Put it back on. Kelly's amazing
There's
with the
the
graphics.
one I got, but this is the one that Kelly did, which
Kelly's
is way
amazing,
better.
bro. Look at that's a dunk.
Backboard.
That's my girl.
Also,
It's sweat. It's Gatorade.
That's not Caitlin Clark dunking. Just for FYI.
Oh yeah, FYI.
Okay.
Brady, I'm sorry.
Not Caitlin Clark dunking. Rob, you can probably help me out a little bit on the subject as well, because she's not only the best female basketball player right now, but she's the best basketball player, I'd say, in total right now. That's playing the game.
Male and female?
I would say in terms of like excitement, obviously there's LeBron James. Obviously there's Joker. Obviously there's Luka. But I'm saying in terms of her skill set, what she's doing as a female athlete right now is phenomenal.
And it's wonderful that it's happening now in female athletics, where females are, and I hate to be that guy, but females are under attack by this LGBTQ movement, where they're making trans people play in women's sports, and it's dominating the headlines. It's great to see an actual woman in a woman's sport dominate the news
Also,
cycle.
if you want to know my all-trans team, I have a show called The Mouthpiece.
The Mouthpiece.
It's on Valuetainment Sports.
Valuetainment Sports.
I have an all-trans team, and I break it down. It's actually enlightening. And LeBron James is on it. Yeah. But the thing that's so great about Caitlin Clark, one, she's dynamic and she's so fun to watch. She shoots. You said over there, she looks kind of like Steph Curry a little bit. Or no, that was Robert. So she shoots a little bit like Steph Curry. She shoots literally from half court. No other female is kind of doing what she does. She's broken all of the barriers. She broke the all-time scoring record by Pete Maravich. Can we pull that up, Kelly, real quick?
This is the shot?
This is her shot. Yeah.
Okay, I want to see where she's shooting, because you're saying she got some freaking...
Yeah, she has range. She's literally shooting from your neighbor's garage, dude. Like, it's out of control.
Go ahead, go for it, Cal.
Yeah, go for it. Watch this. And this is for her to break the scoring title for Pete Maravich. No, you probably get...
Wow.
Damn. We'll probably get dinged because of the audio. Because
no, talking. So I'm happy Kelly didn't play. Good.
So Caitlin Clark, with that shot right there, broke Pete Maravich's record. By the way, Vince, she only needed 5 more points. She had 15 points at this. She finished the game with 41 points total.
Damn.
So the girl's nasty.
Yeah.
She's nasty, but she also went to the championship game, and those girls for South Carolina were undefeated. The whole team was undefeated for the whole season, and they won the championship. But she did put up a good fight against them as well. A couple other things before we get to the next clip. She holds the record for the most sold out games in college basketball, men and women combined.
Any money? Like, question. I don't know how's.
So the arena seats 30,000 people.
She doesn't get a cut of that?
Hold on, we're getting there.
Okay.
Then she brings home more cash than any other women's basketball player. NIL deals. Okay, she makes over $3.1 million from State Farm.
Are you?
Just
for a
in
college athlete?
College.
Good for her.
Just in college.
Good for you, Caitlin.
Just in college. By the way, she's not even going to make. She won't even make 75% of that going into the WNBA. But
she just keeps failing and staying in college.
No, but here's the thing too. Okay, so she has endorsements by State Farm, Nike, Gatorade, just to name a couple, just the big ones, right? The huge ones. It makes her the highest earning women's basketball player ever, and 4th highest earning player behind Bronny James and Shadur Sanders, which is Deion Sanders' son, who plays at Colorado right now, who's crushing it.
She's the truth.
She's the best. And by the way, I don't like women's basketball. You know me, I'm a sports guy.
Yeah.
I watched every single game she played, and I wanted her to win the championship, but she didn't. It didn't happen that way, but she's won in other aspects of it. Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports offered her $10 million to come play in their rec league. Which no one's going to go watch that shit, right? No one's going to watch it. But $10 million is still more money than the WNBA is going to pay her. Of course. Also, the Big Three, Ice Cube's company, said they'll pay her $5 million to go play in his Big Three. But also,
with men?
With men. Yeah. And by the way, she would crush it.
She'd probably do well.
The thing though about the 3-on-3 is it's half court. She would just sit there and just shoot threes all day.
Yeah.
Right? And some of them, there's a 3-point and then there's a 4-point too. So she'd just be racking up 4 points the whole time, right? Okay, with that said, she sells out arenas, like I said, 30,000 people on the regular that come to see her at the arenas. The WNBA, guess what their attendance is on an average night?
9 people.
9,000 people.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
6.
Okay. 9,000? That's crazy,
possible,
actually.
Yeah.
9,000 people. Yep. So here's the thing. Here's the thing, and we'll get to the meat and potatoes here. So the controversy is these talking heads now are coming out. Paul Pierce on Skip Bayless is undisputed. Jay Williams on Let's Talk About It. Even Dania Taurasi, I'm going to mess her name up.
Taurasi?
And Sue Bird came out, and they're ripping on her too. So let's just start with the Paul Pierce one on Skip Bayless real quick. So this is him admitting that he was wrong, but then he's going to show you
what did he say about.
You'll see what he actually says. This is him admitting it. Go for it, Kelly.
Got a couple things I want to clear up. I said some things on Undisputed the other day that came out probably the wrong way, maybe offended some people. We saw a white girl in Iowa do it to a bunch of black girls. Well, of course. That made it like, oh, that gained my respect. That gained my respect.
I hear you. You're
like,
right.
That's like, oh, she didn't do this to some other little white girls that was over here. And,
always
got
to be about race.
She did it to some girls from LSU who we thought were some dogs.
Defending champs.
And put them on their knee and spanked them. Now, you got a predominantly white squad versus a predominantly black.
So obviously, I mean, he had.
So here it is. So here's where he's getting into black and white.
Where I come from, when we hoop, and then you got to look at this. The game of basketball is predominantly black. So when you have a white player comes in and kills, for example,
Luka.
I looked at White Man Can't Jump, like the movie when Billy Doyle came in the hood, killed. Initially he was looked at like, oh, he can't hoop.
A setup.
He can't hoop with the brothers in the hood. We're gonna go at him. Once he started killing, he earned that respect. Now, I've always respected Caitlin Clark, but when I seen her do it against a more athletic team that's what's considered the villains, defending champs, I was like, all right, if she ball out versus them and get the dub, my hat's off to her. Not that it wasn't before, but it was like another respect. You get another respect level as a white player.
So that's just one controversy. So now they're pulling out so she's making so much money, and people are starting to get pissed off. And then also now they're trying to make it. I think social media is now trying to make it. How can we spin this? How can we make this juicy? Oh, white versus black, right? She's making more money now than the black athletes as well. So here comes Jay Williams, who's also another talking head for sports, talking about how if she doesn't win a championship, which she didn't, that she's not the greatest female basketball player ever, which is complete bullshit with a better lack of words. She's the best basketball player. So that's another controversy. You'll see I'll tie this in.
Okay.
And this is, by the way, Stephen A. Smith.
Diana Taurasi has always been a real one. She's real, she's great, she's phenomenal, she's all those things. But her authenticity, I love this woman. She don't play. And she come and her attitude is, it's another level, and she let the world know what to look for.
Caitlin's coming. There's more than just that are coming. What will the league have in store for them when they get there?
But I'll explain this in a minute.
Look, SVP,
this is her hate.
is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time. Not saying that it's not going to translate, because when you're great at what you do, you're just going to get better. But there is going to be a transition period where you're going to have to give yourself some grace as a rookie.
All right, you can stop it. So when she goes, this is going to translate, or she goes, there's levels to this thing. Last time I checked, Homegirl's making so much money, and this talking head is making what? I don't know how much money she's making just doing this stupid little talk show. But totally. But I'm saying, like, the hate and the division from someone that's doing something so great is like, it doesn't make sense to me, because what is the hate for? We should embrace greatness, right? Greatness. So
because guess what? Just her playing and being good doesn't sell.
Right.
Bringing the racial aspect of anything gets people going, starts to have people talking. It can't just be on her own merit that she's just extremely talented and she's kicking ass.
Could you imagine if I said, okay, chess is a predominantly white sport, but this little black girl came in and beat all these white girls, and I didn't take her serious until the second the black girl beat the white girl, and all of a sudden,
you're done.
Now I'm giving her respect. Well, then I would be deemed a racist.
100% racist.
But guess what? Guess who else went through this? Tiger Woods. It was a whole different situation. Tiger Woods played golf, and it was a predominantly all-white sport.
What do you mean? He was the
they wouldn't even let him play at the Masters when he was 17 years old because he was black.
Yeah.
So they had to change it all up. And I'm sorry, it wasn't the Masters. It was the
Open?
U.S. Open. Yes. And so what I'm trying to say is, when people are great like she is, she's a complete phenom. My question for you is this hate on a jealousy level, or is this race bait for clicks from talking heads on TV? And do you think also this is more a question for all you guys actually, but let's start with the first one. Do you think this is hate on a jealousy level, or do you think this is race bait clicks for social media?
I don't necessarily think they're mutually exclusive. I have to say sports is not my forte, let alone women's sports, especially women's basketball. I feel like it's only a punchline of a joke. But I was kind of confused because I kept seeing her name and controversy come around, and I hadn't really dug into it because I didn't really care.
Right.
But I still don't really understand what the controversy is, to be honest, right? It just sort of seems like a non-issue. And I think with all the issues that women's sports are facing right now, it seems like you sort of said in the opening of the segment, it's nice to have an actual female athlete actually doing well.
Right.
And I think these talking heads have just been so used to always finding some identity-based issue to
and
make
they can't find it now.
Yeah, that it's like a gut visceral reaction and they can't find it. So they're like, well, we'll go to the race. Oh, it's a class thing. It's a money thing. And it's just, I don't know, maybe it goes back to the Brian Johnson narcissism ego
totally.
thing,
And there hasn't been hype around a single player since LeBron James. The hype hasn't been. And also they're moving around arenas for her in the WNBA because that's what they're predicted. She's going to sell out. She's going to be a complete effing rock star.
It's like the Eminem effect. It's like, here's this white boy from Detroit, 8 Mile, just ridiculous, and becomes probably top 5 lyrical rappers of all time. I think it's obviously it's uncommon to be like, oh, whoa, this dude is up there. I'm talking about the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
The way that it's looking with this girl, she has a fantastic future. She's nasty right now. I don't think it's cool. I mean, I think it's okay to be like, oh wow, she's a white girl. Good for her. She's kicking ass. But not to be like, man, this white. The way that Paul Pierce set it up, I'm not a big fan of that. Giving her credit, yeah, but trying to be like, man, we can't. Like that attitude, I'm not cool.
Nat, let me ask you a question. Do you think that we'll ever see in our lifetime a female NBA basketball player? Do you think it's actually possible? Rob, do you think
not
it's
trans? You mean biological?
Actual female basketball
biological
player play in the NBA.
I think we'll see a trans woman first before we see an actual biologically born woman.
I'm confused. A trans. I'm horrible at this.
So am I.
So you're saying a guy that was born a man chops everything off and plays in the WNBA?
No, I'm saying in the NBA, either way, a woman going to man or man going to woman, I see that happening because I feel like the NBA has to continue this progressiveness that a lot of major sports companies have, with the exception of the UFC. The UFC is the only one where you go up and talk that shit no matter what.
I agree with that more. I think we'll see a man as a woman in the NBA. Yeah, I think
you see an actual.
You want to know my thing when it comes to sports, especially basketball? What I can give 2 shits about anything when it comes to basketball. Because by the way, LeBron has made it unwatchable, and he's the face of the NBA. I can't even watch the NBA. Here's my thing. I love people with Down syndrome. One of my best friends, Artie, from California,
love
Down
Artie.
syndrome. I think just because sports at the end of the day is meaningless in the scheme of life. It's a distraction, no matter what.
But if you just look at it as it's just one more example where merit is being trashed in favor of identity, then you see it's like it's sports is a good weather indicator for what's happening in the rest of society.
Totally.
Yeah.
And people not standing for the flag or whatever.
Yeah.
It's what you're seeing here is basically DEI lashing out at just pure merit, where that's not supposed to happen. That's not according to the script. It's just like, well, they're good. So do you have a problem with it?
Yeah. What happened to just someone being
good?
Absolutely phenomenal?
Isn't that what it's supposed to be about?
I wrote down, and Pat talks about this a lot, the hero making machine, where we have a problem actually celebrating heroes in this country. And what I wrote down is that we need to honor heroes. Not saying that she's a hero like, a first responder, but there are women, there are young girls that are looking up to Caitlin Clark as a role model.
Excellent.
Excellence. So why are we not celebrating that? Why are we finding ways to villainize
to make it a